What's good with y'all, boys? Welcome back to another episode of Ryan Kyle Everything Sports Podcast. Today, we're going to give y'all our NFL bets of this week. Last week, I went 1-2, making me 6-11 overall. Ray went 2-1, making him 10-8 overall. So, what's your first lock of the week, Ray?
My first lock of the week is going to be Browns minus 7.5 at minus 110 versus the Cardinals. Don't get me wrong, this Cardinals team has been playing a little bit better, but this Browns team is sneakily one of the best in the NFL. I don't see them in a lot of people's top 10s, but they probably should be. This Browns team is starting to cook no matter who they have at quarterback. That defense is one of the most solid, if not the most solid in the league. So I think they should have no problem. They're just a league above this Cardinals team. This Cardinals team is hanging in with teams, so it worries me a little bit they won't cover. But I really believe this Browns team will handle this Cardinals team this week.
For my first lock of the week, I'm starting with the Thursday night game. I'm taking Derrick Henry over 74.5 rushing yards at minus 115. He's gone over this their last two games. I mean, it hadn't been close. This is going to be like a slugfest. I think that with Will Levis being in there, quarterback, is going to open up the run game more because they have that threat of quarterback now. Before it was Ron Tannehill, who's terrible. Then it was Malik Willis, who's even worse. But I think just based off that last game, he can even come to this game and underperform because he had a great game in his debut. But I think just that threat of them being able to throw the ball down the field will open up the run game for Derrick Henry. So I love him over 74.5.
My next bet of the week is going to be a Colts money line. I'm worried about the points here, but the Panthers have been terrible all year. They're not winning games, and I don't think that's going to start now. Don't get me wrong, I'm not super high on this Colts team by any means, but I just really don't like this Panthers team. I'm going to take whoever they're playing. They just got their first win last week, so I don't think they're going to go back-to-back. I think this team is the worst in the NFL by a long shot, so I think they're going to continue their losing ways, and I have the Colts pulling this one out.
For my second lock of the week, I'm taking the LA Chargers minus 3 versus the Jets at minus 115. I think that this Jets, little fairy tale season will kind of come to an end. I do like the Chargers. They're coming off a win against a pretty bad team in the Bears, but I do like that Justin Herbert is starting to play better. He had 300 yards and 3 touchdowns with no interceptions. That defense is starting to play a little bit better. They're still bad, but I mean, they're not going to be much of a threat against a pretty bad Jets offense. So I do think that this will be, probably a little bit of a low-scoring game. Not crazy low, probably like a mediocre low-scoring game. But I think that the Chargers will win by probably, for sure, 2 scores. So I don't see this game being very close. So I like the Chargers minus 3.
I actually have a combo lock here, a little 2-man parlay for y'all boys, but we'll go ahead and split it up. A little same game parlay, but I'll go ahead and make it 2 picks. So my first pick of this game is going to be Eagles, Cowboys over 46 points. Every time these two teams play, we see 30 to 40 games. These teams' defenses do not show up when they play each other. We have 2 electric offenses. I don't believe either defense is going to be able to shut down the opposing quarterback this week. It's going to be a quarterback battle. Expect both quarterbacks to have 3-4 touchdowns. So I think that the 46 is too low for this. We saw last year, no matter whether the Eagles played Gardner Minshew or whether they played Jalen Hurts, and then whether the Cowboys played Dak or whether they played Cooper Rush. I really believe that the Cowboys will put up numbers like they've been putting up numbers in the 30s and the 40s. I think the Eagles are going to match that, putting up those same amount of numbers. So I expect this game to go really high.
Yeah, that's a great pick, and that was actually going to be my third bet. I have 4 this week. I'm going a little strong, but I'm going to stay in that same game. So I was going to take that same over 46, so that's a great bet right there. But for my fourth and final, I'm taking the Eagles minus 3 at 120 versus the Cowboys. Now, I think this will be a good game. I do think it'll be a good game, but I think Philly is the best team in the NFL. They're playing at home. They're very good at home. That Philly crowd, that Philly environment. And the last time that someone has won by less than 3 points was in 2014. So that's 19 straight games of somebody winning by 4 more. And it's usually like 7 or 6. So I think whoever wins, they'll cover the 3, but I think that team will be Philly. So that's why I'm taking the Eagles minus 3.
And I also have the opposite of that. I have the Cowboys money line at plus 145. I just believe that this Eagles team is significantly overrated. Jalen Hurts is not playing as good as people think. He's throwing the ball away. And you look at the team that takes the ball away, They expect Jalen Hurts to turn the ball over a couple of times in this game. And then once that happens, we know what that offense does once the defense starts getting those takeaways. So you have a quarterback that's turnover prone, who's averaging more than an interception a game, 8 interceptions. Then you look at the other team who's feeds off takeaways. So you look at the Cowboys and what happens when their defense gets all those takeaways. Their offense starts to cook. So expect that offense to cook as soon as that defense starts to cook, and expect the Cowboys to roll through the Eagles this week and cement themselves as the best team in the NFC and the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, and I don't think that'll happen just because it's the same story every year with the Cowboys. Beat up on the bad teams, play a good team, underperform. They only have one way to win. It's feed off the defense and allow everything else to open up for the offense. So and I don't think that the Eagles will allow that to happen. So I definitely see the Eagles -3 here as a lock. So y'all lock that in.
Do you think that that Jalen Hurts is going to turn the ball over?
Maybe once.
So you don't think that's going to feed into it?
Well, I know Dak's going to turn the ball over. So I mean, the one time
I don't know that he is.
One good game against a good team they played. How many turnovers did Dak have, Ray? How many?
Okay, but
it was 3.
Then you look at Jalen Hurts averaging an interception a game. You don't think that and he's played some bad defenses. So you don't think that the best defense he's played all year is going to have more than one turnover?
I mean, listen, I'm saying he may have one turnover, but what I'm saying is, I think if he has 3, they'll still beat him by
No way. If Jalen Hurts has 2 or more turnovers, there's no shot that the Eagles come within 7 points to the Cowboys.
Listen, my thing is, the Cowboys, they just don't beat good teams. They don't. And in the biggest games and the biggest, moments, Dak he throws the ball to the wrong team. I mean, he had 1 interception their first 4 games, and then the week they play the Niners, he throws 3 in one game, and then after that he has had I think 2 since then and playing great. I don't understand. Listen, I'm rooting for the Cowboys. I hope they win. I haven't seen anything that makes me think, oh yeah, they can go into Philly and beat them basically for the division. I don't think that'll happen.